Hey guys, Matt Samolsky here. I'm Matt the Carguy. On my channel I do car reviews, and today I'm super excited. I'm gonna do a review of a Buick. Really, I am. This is an FOT. I literally just came up with that. Fresh off the truck. Just got delivered to this dealership. Brand spanking new, completely redesigned 2021 Buick Envision. And I get to check this out and explore some of the cool features of this vehicle with you. So we're going to take it on a tour of the exterior, interior. We're going to check out the roominess in the back seat and the front seat. We're going to see where the magic happens. And this is completely different. Nobody had it before that as far as the dealership. Like literally this is the first one that they got. So I'm going to learn a lot of those features with you. But if you're ready, let's go. Okay, so certainly not the Buick that you would expect, you know, if you looked at the older ones. And certainly the other one wasn't bad. The Envision wasn't bad. I think that this one is so much better looking though. The lights, the hood, the grille, everything has been completely redesigned, the whole side of the car. So it's essentially a brand new vehicle. And we're going to start with the front of it. The hood is kind of like on the Buick Encore GX. It has the line in the middle that actually ends right here. It points at this huge Buick logo. Then it has two lines alongside in here to help with this aerodynamics of this vehicle. The front grille, you have this huge Buick logo, and again this chrome piece. Chrome has been signature of Buick for a long time. They've always had a little bit of chrome, but they took that away to add more sportiness, but kept a little bit of it to cap the luxury portion of it. And as far as the bottom of it, again, there's three different colors on this, and there's shiny black, chrome, then there's this matte black with all the sensors right here, and then there's a lip spoiler, which, you know, it's the same material, it's the same kind of rough plastic as this matte black portion of it, but it's painted into this kind of aluminum color, which breaks that up really nice. Now if you look at the lights are completely redesigned. Full LED lights. It has this light signature right at the bottom of it, and multi-reflector lights. There's 1, 2, 3 different bulbs in here. Obviously the regular lights, the high beams and the turn signals, that's what you have in here. And look how this bumper goes down in here. Again, these are non-functional. I wish they were. That would kind of be even more sporty, but you know, maybe they have enough cooling that they don't need it, because the air can go through here and the air can go right at the bottom in here as well. But that definitely adds to that sporty look of this vehicle. So let's check out what powers up this 2021 Envision. Alright guys, so what powers up this Envision? Now this one is the 2.0 liter turbo. And here, before we get to the specs, check it out. It does have the hydraulic hood lifters. I'm so happy about it, because that would be like the fourth vehicle in the row that didn't have it. Made it to a 9-speed automatic transmission that's electronically controlled, and we'll see how that handles in just a little bit. Also, check this out. It does have the sound dampening materials. A lot of manufacturers are going away from that. Now Buick keeps it, and I think it's a great idea, because this vehicle should be really nice and quiet. Side profile of this vehicle, I'm not sure. I was kind of looking at it and I was like, what does that remind me of? And it really, you know, I'm not sure, but it's got a little bit of a Mazda in it, but it also has a little bit of like that Maserati Levante in it, I think. That's just my opinion. But take a look at it. This is the ST model, so this is the sport touring model. It's got that package, and it is a little bit sportier. But take a look at these lines right here. There's one line that goes here, then it disappears on this door because that door is kind of indented in here, and then it widens up and appears back again at the back of this vehicle. Now there's also another body line that goes from here, kind of like a continuation of the wheel well, and then it goes right here, and then it goes slightly up back in here. Bottom of this car, it's got this shiny black. This is the color of the car. This one breaks it up, shiny black, but it also has, again, it has a little bit of that chrome, which I like, and then the shiny black cladding around the wheels. Now this one sits on 20s, really nice. Again, sporty package, black wheels, Buick logo, but non-colorful, just a one simple color as far as the logo of it. Normally they have this red and blue and silver. No, this one's just silver. Anyways, 20-inch wheels. And then, you know, as far as the rest of the vehicle, it has these black accents because like the mirrors are black on this vehicle. It does have the camera right here, so it does have a 360. It does have the technology package on this particular one, so we're gonna check that out. Of course, it does have the keyless entry. You can lock, unlock the doors, you know, with the key being somewhere on you. And then it has no chrome other than this trim at the bottom here. There's no chrome on this vehicle at all, so it's nicely sporty. A lot of high-end vehicles are doing those black trims, but I'm really curious of how much room there is in the back of this car. Let's check this out. All right guys, so if you like the side, I'm sure you're gonna love the back of this car, because it is, again, it's that sporty luxury. I wasn't expecting that from the Buick, and when I saw it in the showroom floor, I actually begged the guys to take it off the showroom, and they were nice enough to agree for me to actually grab it and film it. So again, thanks to Orange Buick and GMC and Orlando, Florida, for allowing me to do that. Here, what do you have here? These nice kind of sporty lights. I don't know if it looks like maybe Acura RDX a little bit, but then the gate that's in here. So there's a lot of roominess, a lot of beefiness right here on the sides, because the gate, this is where the gate is. Maybe like Infinity's had it. I don't know what to compare it to. It's completely different. Now you have an LED brake light right on top of here, the shark fin antenna. Now this is the ST, which stands for the sport touring model, and again, that bumper has several different colors on it. It has a little bit of that shiny black, a little bit of that silver kind of polished aluminum, and the rest of it is in this color of the vehicle, and the big Buick logo, but not overwhelming, not killing you with a lot of that bling and chrome. Let's see how much room there is in here. Let me show you the key. First of all, so the key fob on this car, regular Buick key fob, right? So you have your lock, unlock, gate, you have the remote starter and the panic button as well. On the other side you have the Buick logo, and again, the key is not even shiny, so that's kind of cool. Actually, let's hit this and see. Look how the LED lights look, pretty cool. See how much room there is in here. Okay, so coming up on this now, I believe that this is a direct competitor or the answer of a Buick to a Cadillac XT5. That seems like about the same space in here. But I gotta tell you, I like this more better than the XT5. And I would never say that I like Buick better than Cadillac, but I am. You do have your spare tire underneath here. And you have quite a bit of room. Now, this is a 2-row vehicle, so obviously you don't have this 3rd row seat, but the seats fall down and they're 60-40 split, so in case you have to carry something longer, you can create a lot more room. And let's see if we can actually fold one of those seats down. I mean, there's a little lever in here. Can you do it from where I'm standing? And sure you can. So there you go. This is how much room is created by just folding that seat down. So that's quite a bit of room. I mean, definitely enough for the regular everyday shopping. Maybe won't help you move if you're moving your apartment, unless, you know, you're one of those minimalist people that, you know, just have a toothbrush and 2 pair of underwear and stuff. But anyways, let's not go into that topic. But pretty roomy for what it is. Let's close this up and check out the interior of it. Well, I gotta tell you, I'm gonna wait here and see when it closes, because now it looks a little bit more like a Mercedes. Now it has its own unique style, but I'm just kind of trying to pinpoint, because I bet you haven't seen one on the road. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And now I want to see how much room there is in the back seat. All right, let's check it out. Now it looks like it's got pretty nice sized door, and I want to jump in here. I gotta tell you, I keep on getting more and more excited about a Buick SUV, but you have to see how it looks inside. Yes, it does have enough room. I'm 6 feet tall. I have about 2 more inches before I hit the back of the front seat, and I have that adjusted to my regular driving position. But just the materials used, I'm used to having and seeing those materials on the luxury brands. Come take a look for yourself. Okay, so what's so special? Really, maybe you say nothing, but you know, take a look at this leather trim on these seats right here. Nicely contrast stitched and kind of profiled like a lot more luxurious vehicles. It felt really comfortable when I was sitting in it. It also has this middle armrest with the cup holders in it, and in the back you have the vents for your air conditioning, as well as you have the USB-C and the USB charger in here. But let's just take a quick look, because that's probably the best angle to show you that panoramic sunroof. I'll open it while we're going to be talking about the interior, but it's nice. It's nice, and it covers most of the vehicle. Now it's partially closed too, as far as the shade. The shade opens up and it adds a lot more light inside. So how about here? The trim, again, you have some of the soft plastic right here. You have a nice trim. Again, nicely designed trim, and then this contrast stitching leather wrapped door, and at the bottom you have just a regular plastic as well. So this is it. Let's see where the match is. So I keep on looking at this vehicle, and I don't know what it looks like, but it looks pretty cool. Anyway, let's see how the door closes. It's okay, right? I mean, you heard it. It's not the best sounding door that you know, I tested, but it's definitely legitimate. I mean, right now you have a fairly heavy door and a big long door. Right, so interior, take a look at the doors. First of all, same kind of trim. Obviously it's the same car, but it has the same trim on the front door. It's got a little bit of that aluminum door handle. It's got a little trim, aluminum trim right here also. Rest is leather. And what else we have here? The regular mirror controls. We have the window controls. We have the door lock and unlock feature, as well as you have the memory settings for your seats. Now at the bottom here, like most of the Chevys and Cadillacs and GMCs, you have your gate control, so you can open it either maximum height or 3/4 or turn it off completely. And then you have a Bose stereo, so it's got to be sounding pretty cool. And you know, again, check out the seats. I like those seats a lot. I think they're very nicely contoured, very nicely stitched. This is leather, but on the side here, this is this fabric, which is nice because that's what keeps pressure on the seats. And usually in the older cars, you'll see the leather cracking right here because you sit on top of those side bolsters and this will crack. Anyways, controls, electronic controls for the seats. And yes, you do have, just like on the XT5, at the bottom there you have a storage compartment. I'm pointing it out right now. Alright guys, so 2021 Buick Envision. Let's start with the steering wheel. So if you've seen the steering wheel or any of the other, Buick or GMC, it's pretty much the same. Multifunction steering wheel. Left hand side you have your cruise control, you have your heated steering wheel on this particular one, and this is the adaptive cruise control where you set the distance between you and the car in front of you. Now on the right hand side you have the phone hang up button, and basically you have the voice controls, as well as these control the screen in the middle right here. And let's take a look at this. Let's hit that magic button. As you can see, they turned off now. Let's hit that magic button and let's see what happens. But I want you to show you this too, just in case you forgot you were in the Buick. And we can check this out as far as the radio. Okay, so we're gonna cross that off our list because the radio sounds pretty good even in Spanish, although it does have the English option as well. Kidding, this is for your navigation. Well, let's go back to the middle instrument cluster because that's where we were at. One thing to point out before we get too far with this, see those pedal shifters right on here. I'm gonna check them out and see how they work. But okay, so the regular instrument cluster with the electronic display in between, analog display. So not, well, kind of analog, because you do actually have, these are analog, but everything else, like the numbers on it, they're digital. They're basically digital display. So in the middle, what do we have? Now, right now it's set up where we have your speed, it says 0, or aiming north. So you have your compass, you have your temperature, you have your tire pressure. That's right in the middle. What else can we have in here? So right now the radio is off and we want to keep it this way. Navigation, okay, if you had one, you can put the navigation right in the middle of the screen, or your phone. Okay, options, units, info page, speed warning, head-up display, which this one has. And let's see if you might be able to see that. It's got this little 0 miles per hour. I hope you can see that. And then you have this sign, so it reads the speed limit, or actually it knows the speed limit, and it projects it on the windshield for you so you don't go too fast. So that is the instrument cluster right here. Limited as far as the options, but very functional of what it is. Let's move in here, and I want to give you kind of a further away view of this because this is completely new. This is how they did it, and it aims towards the driver. So if you look at the setup in here, all of this, it's kind of leaning towards me. This is further out than this part, okay, so it's better as far as the visibility. Now, big screen, I'm not sure what size it is, but it's bigger than on the previous generation ones. Okay, so let's just go and continue, but the same interface as far as all of the other GMs. So if you've been to one, you know how to use it. And you have the regular buttons. Basically you have your navigation, Wi-Fi, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It is touchscreen, so you can set that up. You can have different apps. The only shortcuts that you have on the left hand side, which I'm actually very happy that they left the volume knob in here and the power, and then you have your home button that's on the left hand side, and then you have like the enter button on your keyboard. So whenever you can select these by rolling this knob if you don't want to do it sliding your finger on it, so you can actually control these. Look at this, okay, and they highlight, and if you want to use, like we're going to try to use the camera, let's say, and I'm going to hit OK, I'm going to turn on the camera. And take a look at this. I have to tell you, it does have the 360, but look how vivid it is and how good quality this camera is. It's much better than a lot of, you know, the Japanese cars that I've seen. It's not grainy, it's actually a pretty good quality. Let's see what else is here. So you can have a narrow angle, you can have a wide angle, okay? So you can have it zoom in or zoom out. This is on top from the back, right? These are pretty useful. Actually, people don't realize how useful they are, but if you're going in between something that is an obstacle and you want to see if you're not going to hit it with your side of your vehicle, this is what that camera is for. And okay, now we have the top view right here. This turns that on or off. So very nice camera system. Let's go back home. Let's see what other cool features. So you have My Buick. You can this is a service that you can sign up for. Interior air quality, I don't know what that is, but it says it's good, so I'm happy because I'm breathing it. Apps, cameras, phone navigation. Does this have navigation system? And yes, it does. And look how nice and bright it is. I like that interface. The same thing as in the Cadillac. Very nicely done. Okay, let's go back. I wish they had the back button that takes you one screen, but I guess if you go back, you just go to the main screen. So system settings, basically you can customize the system. Apps, vehicle. So buckle to drive is on. That's why I had a little bit of a problem driving it without the seatbelt, but that's on. So climate, air quality, you can see collision detection system. Let's see what safety features are on this car. So forward collision system, front pedestrian detection, lane change alert, rear cross traffic alert, pretty standard on most of them. Comfort and convenience, you have reverse tilt mirror, chime volume, hands-free liftgate, trunk control on, open only, auto wipe and reverse gear, which is pretty cool, and hands-free liftgate, trunk control, so that's basically you wave your foot underneath it. Power door locks, remote lock, unlock and start, sitting position, team driver, so you can actually set this up to assign a key with customizable restrictions. This is what I like. I mean, Ford has it, GM has it. I wish a lot more manufacturers would come out with that because it's a safety feature. You want to have your kid drive the car, you know what they're gonna do as soon as you're not watching. Hit that pedal to the metal and see how fast it goes. And you're hoping that's not true. Trust me, it is. And let's go back in here. This is basically your home screen. So you have your radio and you have partially your navigation system, but you have your climate control settings right at the bottom. If you don't want to use that top screen, you can adjust your temperature basically here, and it shows up here as well. The ionizer is on, so it ionizes the air, and we're going to turn off the heated seats. Does it have ventilated? This one doesn't, but I believe it might be an option. Okay, at the bottom here, you have your USB-C, USB, you have your SD card reader, and you have your regular power outlet for charging. This closes. Piano black, again, not my favorite, but you know, it's, you know, for what it is, it looks pretty darn good. And then you have several buttons in here. So this is to turn off or on your auto start when you auto stop, basically when you stop at the stoplight, so the car that turns off, or if you want to turn it off, you can turn it off. Lane keep assist, you can turn off your traction control off, and you can turn off your parking sensors. There's two more blank buttons, I believe, and this is just my thinking that this might be for maybe cooled seats if you had it. But check this out. Check out the transmission on this, as it is new as well. So the transmission is a push button transmission. If you want to go in reverse, okay, you have to lift it up kind of, and of course it initiates the rear view camera. Then you can just press neutral if you want to be in neutral, and again you have to push up on the D to put it in the drive mode, and then this switches it to the manual mode, and then you can control it through on your steering wheel. Electronic parking brake, and then here are the modes. So touring mode, sport mode, and snow and ice. We're going to leave it in the sport mode because I want to check out the performance of this. If you look at the dashboard, take a look at the dashboard. Okay, it looks very nice, very luxurious. I mean, even though, I mean, this is not real leather, but it does have kind of that stitching in here, and this is that soft plastic. And then you have your glove box, of course, right here. And even the vents, the air vents, are not this regular shape. They're more kind of a sporty shape in here. And this is what I've been talking about. Like, look at the angle that the dashboard and basically the entire car kind of leans towards the driver to make driving more comfortable for it. Let's open this up and let's see how deep this is. So just another storage compartment in here, nothing special about it. Let's close it and let's go up in here. Okay, I know they have available that camera which switches on. I wish this one had it, but it doesn't. And then you have the panoramic sunroof, and you also have your light controls. If we can open up the sunshade, okay, so now it's closing, so let's revert it. And then you can open up the sunroof. You can slide it open. Okay, again, it allows quite a bit of air to get in here, and look how big this is. So this should be nice and quiet, especially won't allow all these air to mess up your hair. If you're going somewhere, you can still have that sunroof open, or you can also tilt it. So I mean, if we close it, the sunroof, you can also tilt it if you'd like to. We're not gonna go all the way in detail with this. And does it have? Of course it does. It does have a mirror if you want to check your makeup, ladies. Or, you know, guys don't like to admit it, but we like to check and see if we look good before we leave the car. Both lit mirrors on here. Take it for a drive. Well, hey guys, we're about to take this one for a spin, but as usual, you might be asking yourself a question. Well, how much are these vehicles? Because, you know, certainly, I mean, if you're looking for it, price is going to be one of the components of your car shopping, if you will. So you're going to be asking yourself, how much is it? So let's see. You have the different trims, right? So you have the Envision One SV, which starts at about $35,000, and then you have to, you know, customize it and see what else is here. Preferred, $36,445. Then you have the Essence, which is this one right here. It starts at $38,745. This one's about $42,000. Then you have the Premium and Premium 2. So Premium will start at about $41,895, and then $44,795 if you went with Premium 2. Now, all of the lower trims are standard with the 2.5 liter engine that has 197 horsepower, 192 pound-feet of torque, so about 60, give or take 60 horsepower less than this one. And they're not turbocharged, and I'm really excited that we have this one to see how it drives. So the transmission, quite frankly, takes just a little bit to get used to it, especially that my car, the Honda Pilot that I have, also have a button transmission, but you push it down, not push it up. But once you've done it once or twice, you know, this is pretty cool. We've already checked out the rear view camera, but I'm gonna turn this car 360 degrees and really see of how tight the turning diameter is. on here. So let's check this out. Turn it all the way, and like I said, I don't have the painted marks on here, but I can feel and compare with other vehicles that I've driven that it's fairly comparable to the other ones. It's probably, if I were to look into parking spaces, about 4.5, and it feels pretty good. I mean, I had this turning, I didn't feel any body roll or anything like this. And the suspension feels nice and smooth, typical for what you should expect from like the semi-luxury brand like Buick is. Very quiet inside the cabin. Now, I haven't hit the accelerator yet, but so far you can barely hear, you know, anything, like even the hum of the engine. It's very, very quiet. So we're gonna take this for a quick spin, and it's gonna be a good test to see of how fast it accelerates, but how fast you can get up to speed and actually get going. But I gotta tell you, I mean, looking at the Buicks of the past, quite frankly, I never expected that I would put excited and Buick in the same sentence, or cool and Buick in the same sentence, and sporty, I mean, unless you look at the older ones. But let's hit it. Oh, you can even, do you hear that tires chirping a little bit? I mean, it's got that, engine is pretty torquey. I like it. It definitely gets up and going very nicely, and you can barely hear the engine. This one, not many cars can do it, but this one can definitely fool you that you're driving a 6-cylinder engine versus a 4-cylinder engine. So, I mean, that's how quiet it is, and that's why how powerful it feels. So I gotta tell you, it wasn't even in the sports mode. Now I flipped it into a sports mode, and even though we don't have this acceleration now because we're driving, I'm gonna hit it like when we're going to see how it's gonna respond to here. And if you've seen what just happened in the front, there's some idiots on the road, so I'm sorry about that. But certainly, look at this. Really nice performing vehicle. Really impressed with it, how it handles and how it feels. And definitely luxurious. You don't give up the luxury, but you get all the sportiness with it as well. I gotta tell you, this is probably would be my favorite Buick. Really, a Buick and favorite? Really, Matt? Yes, really. I'm 100%. No, here, let's go again. To hold them on the road for a little bit there. Look at this. This is good. One last thing we check out really quick is we'll flip it to the manual mode. And reduce the gears ourselves, but overall the acceleration is nice. It feels very roomy, very comfortable. I'm speechless. Or I'm not speechless because I've been yapping for the last half an hour or so, but guys, check this car out. If you're in the market for one, check it out. Okay. Or we're gonna be that traffic light racer. Go from light to right. You want to go, buddy? You want to go? Let's go. Overall impression, and this is my first test drive. I think I can bet you that a lot of you haven't even known that this Buick exists, but if you're looking for a mid-size SUV, which this is what it is, and you don't need the third row seat, so you know, if you might be considering vehicles like the Cadillac XT5 or something like the it's bigger than the Honda CR-V, for example, but it's smaller than the Honda Pilot. It's kind of in between, maybe like a Honda Passport a little bit, 2-row seats. I mean, definitely take a look at this. Guys, again, big thanks to Orange Buick and GMC in Orlando, Florida for allowing me to film this vehicle. This concludes this review of the Buick Envision 2021. And if you haven't checked my channel out, check it out. I hope you like some of the videos. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like button if you like it. I really appreciate every single view, and I will see you in my next video. Cheers.